What's up, you guys? This is Mark from the Chumpcast. I'm back with my comic book picks of the week, so stay tuned and let's do this. So before we get started, I'm going to ask that you guys please click that subscribe button down below and also click that notification bell so you can get a heads up whenever we post some new videos. But let's get into it. First up on my list, we have from Marvel, Nebula #1. The writer on this book is Vita Ayala, art is done by Claire Rowe, and we have some nice cover art done for this first issue by Jen Bartel. So this is a 5-issue miniseries, and it's off to a pretty decent start. In the beginning of the story, we have Nebula, who's ordering a scientist around to put in a device that he built into her cybernetics. The reason she wants this device is because it allows her to see threat levels and success rates whenever she's in immediate danger. Although nothing in this first issue I would say is game-changing, I will say that Claire Rowe's art does stand out, and it seems to be perfect for this space-themed story. Next, we have Thor #3, written by Donny Cates, and art is done by Nick Klein. So if you've been reading the story, you know that Galactus has transformed Thor into his new herald, which he does in trying to stop the universe from being destroyed by Black Winter. In this issue, Thor is facing off with none other than Beta Ray Bill. What caught my attention was this first splash page that we get that gives us a flashback of Thor's hammer covered in some purple gory muck, which leads us to believe that this Donny Cates Thor will be most likely a lot more brutal. Overall, if you're like me and you really enjoy a popcorn comic packed with fast action, explosions, etc., well, I hope you're going to be picking this up because it will melt your eyes. Next, we have Immortal Hulk #31, written by Al Ewing. If you're a Hulk fan, you're staying up to date on this series. In this issue, we technically get our first appearance of Glowboy, even though it was a flashback, and Hulk is slugging it out with Xemnu, who is pretty much just a furry Hulk. It's kind of cute. But what I loved about this issue is we get this amazing cover by Alex Ross. Last up, we have Venom #23, Jordan, written by Donny Cates, and art is done by Mark Bagley. To catch you up, Eddie Brock is on Venom Island. His Venom symbiote is infected by the Carnage symbiote. Eddie cuts his hand off, and crazy-ass Dylan is back in New York messing with this little Carnage symbiote to hopefully communicate with Null. So a lot is going on, but this has been one of my favorite series since its start in 2018. My favorite part about this issue, though, has again been the cover. This is a sweet variant done by Scotty Young, and if you're going to C2E2, which is in Chicago in 2 weeks, this is the perfect book to get signed by Scotty Young, Donny Cates, and Stegman, who are all going to be there. On to DC. Only 2 titles this week. First one up, we have Flash #88. This series is being written by Joshua Williamson, and the art is done by Howard Porter. So in this issue, we actually get a first appearance of a new Flash villain, Paradox. And we also pretty much get his whole origin story too. So this villain before becoming Paradox was Chris, a loving father and husband, and Chris was also a scientist living in Central City who devoted the majority of his work to find proof of alternate universes, timelines, and realities. Later on in this issue, he has a run-in with Flash, causing him to get sucked into another dimension where he has to escape from. Once he does so and finally escapes, he decides that Flash is the one causing all these interdimensional timeline problems. To sum it up, he pretty much just hates Flash's ass for taking him away from his family. If you want a new Flash story with a new villain, this is the book for you. Okay, last up for my DC picks is Supergirl 39. This one's being written by Jody Hauser, and the art is done by Rachel Stott. Gonna be honest with you guys, I'm actually not reading this yet. I just couldn't resist this extremely dope Derek Chu cardstock variant cover. Check this out. Look at this. Freaking amazing. All right, you made it. My last pick of the week is an independent title, Alienated #1 by Boom Studios. This one's being written by Simon Spurrier, and art is done by, it's an amazing name, Chris Wildgoose. So Boom Studios has been putting out some really good stuff lately, like Folklords and Heartbeat I think is another title that they're doing. But in Alienated, this story starts with 3 teenagers who stumble upon an alien entity, I guess I'll call it, which gives them some pretty freaky abilities involving the connections with one another. The writer on this book, Simon Spurrier, I have to admit is a really good storyteller. Even after just this first issue, I can see this getting optioned for maybe a TV show, a movie, so I definitely think this is worth buying and holding on to for the future. Alright guys, well that is all I had for this week. I want to say thanks again for sticking it out with me, and please hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps the show out. And also, if you are unaware, if you only come to this channel for the comic book reviews, the main reason for this channel is actually to post our live podcast episodes called the Chumpcast, hence the name of this channel. If you haven't checked out the Chumpcast, overall the podcast is about all things nerd related. We go into nerd news for the week, and then at the end of each episode, we actually review the most recent movie that came out that week. So what I'm going to do is leave actually the link to our last episode right up here and click it and check it out, because you might actually really enjoy some of the stuff we talk about. I'll shut up now. Until next time, Chumps out.